Hey, folks, welcome to another episode of Steelers Morning Rush. I'm Alan Saunders. It is Wednesday, June 18th. We are midway through this first week of the doldrums of the Pittsburgh Steelers offseason. I got a couple salary cap questions that I want to jump in here and address. The first of which is from the Deer, Garrett3373, who says, talking about cash, but can you trade cash like MLB, or is cash yours and nobody else's? Very good question. Yeah, so in Major League Baseball and in basketball, you can trade a player or an asset for cash considerations. So you can just buy somebody's draft pick for $300,000 or whatever. In the NFL, you can't trade cash for assets. You can't include as part of a deal a cash payment. You also can't trade salary cap space, which is more valuable than cash. But there are several ways around this kind of deal. So, like, one of the things that you'll see a lot of times is, like, in baseball, let's say, an underperforming, aging veteran is being traded, at the trade deadline for prospects. A lot of times the trading team will include cash to pay for some of that player's salary going forward. So if, let's say the Pirates are going to trade away a relief pitcher at the deadline. He's owed $1 million over the rest of the season. Well, they could trade him and they could send $500,000 along with him, so that the acquiring team will give them better prospects. They care more about the prospects they get in return than they care about that $500,000. So they're going to make that trade work. Sometimes an asset just becomes so toxic that you have to include cash or other assets with it in a trade. This guy's owed $15 million this year, and he had a 6.78 ERA last year. All right, well, we'll pay 12 if you take him. But when teams do that, it's not like the trading team is going to pay that player while he's playing on the other team. They're just going to give the other team the $12 million, then they're going to pay him. In the NFL, that doesn't happen. There are ways to make this happen, though. So let's say, okay, Jalen Ramsey, for example, is owed somewhere in the neighborhood of $25 million this year. If the Dolphins are having a hard time trading him and they want to trade him to another team and they want to reduce the salary obligation of that team in the same way, they can do that. They will just have to convert some of Ramsey's salary to signing bonus and give him a new signing bonus on a new contract before the trade is executed. So if right now Ramsey's owed $25 million, the Dolphins could sign him to a new contract this year that has $5 million in signing bonus and $20 million in salary. And then that signing bonus, in the NFL, the salary cap obligation always paid with the team that paid it. So as long as the signing bonus is due at signing, as soon as Ramsey signs the updated contract, the Dolphins will owe him $5 million. They'll pay him the $5 million. Then they'll trade him to somewhere else, and that new team will only owe him $20 million. So you're not trading cash, but you're accomplishing the same thing that you would accomplish in baseball when it comes to reducing the price of a distressed asset. What you can't do is just straight up buy something. You can't just say, I want your 7th round pick, here's $500,000. I want this guy who you're going to put on waivers. And in fact, the one and only time when cash gets transferred from one team to another is when you claim a player on waivers. You do have to pay, I think it's $150,000. I might have to look that up. But there's a fee for claiming a player on waivers. There's also a fee for stealing a player from another team's practice squad. I'll have to look those amounts up and maybe I'll put them in the comments here. But yeah, that's about the only time that one team will pay another team when it comes to any kind of transaction. So those like minor deals where you'll see just like a guy who has already been designated assignment traded to the Los Angeles Angels for cash considerations, that can't happen in the NFL. They will have to trade some kind of asset, whether it's a future draft pick. You can make a trade for, a player to be named later, but that almost never happens in the NFL. You can make it for a future consideration, but that almost never happens in the NFL. It is almost always, what will happen is the way they'll structure that is a conditional draft pick. And then the conditions can be met at a later time. So basically, if you the cash consideration portion of it would be worked out like this. The Steelers are going. In fact, the Steelers traded for an offensive lineman a couple years ago named Jesse Davis from the Vikings, and it was like a conditional future 7th-round draft pick if the Steelers win the Super Bowl or something like that. So like you're basically getting nothing. But that's how you have to. That's how you have to structure those trades. You can't. You can't just say at the beginning we're trading for cash or nothing or future considerations. You have to lay out what those considerations are. And it can't be cash. It can never be cash. So I hope that answered the question. An interesting one. I don't know why this is. Maybe I will do some more research and get back to you guys during the afternoon drive about why you can't trade for cash considerations in the NFL. But all I know is you can't. All right. That's it for now. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications here on the YouTube channel. Got another episode of Afternoon Drive coming with me and Smitty later. Also, go over to SN Plus, SteelersNow.com. Sign up for SN Plus. Subs only live stream tomorrow at 6 p.m. Want to have good attendance for that. So going to keep pushing it. Get over there. Even if you missed the sale, it's only $4 something a month. It's $40 a year. It's well worth it for the ad-free reading alone. Plus all the best stuff from me, Smitty, DB, the rest of the Steelers Now team, including these subscribers only live streams that we do. So definitely want to stay tuned for that. Until next time, that's all I got for today. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, and enjoy.